Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for joining me. In today's video we'll be looking at self-compassion. It's week 2 and part of a 3-week block. Please check out the description below for the other links to week 1 and 3. In today's video we're looking at self-compassionate breaks, and in particular I'll be sharing with you a tool that I've put together myself, which is a unique tool which helps you to give yourself the self-compassionate break that you need. Before we jump right into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us to keep these videos going. So what is self-compassionate break? What is that? Well, researchers show that it's something that we do when we're feeling stressed or anxious, and we try and do it in the moment so that it stops us from falling down the spiral and going into automatic negative self-talk or being the internal critic, and helps us to manage the situation and be more compassionate to ourselves better. So really what we're looking here is to respond to a situation as opposed to just reacting, in particular being compassionate towards ourselves as we do that, and it also enables us to do that. Well, the tool I have for you actually comes from many different techniques, mostly from positive psychology, and it's called the stop-go technique. So each letter in stop, so the S, the T, the O and the P, and in the go, the G and the O, corresponds to a step within the process that you need to do or an action that you need to take. And I'll be sharing that with you now, but I'll also just be explaining to you why it's important and why each step is really has a lot of value in completing it and doing it, in order to stop you from spiraling down and creating more negative self-talk, being judgmental towards yourself, behaving and responding in a way towards yourself or the situation that's actually very unhelpful, that you probably would have done it differently if you were coming from a calm, collected place. And the go part is how you then actually trigger some positive emotion and spiral up so that you can go out and actually manage that situation or manage yourself in a better way. So it's called stop, go, and it ties into a spiral, downward spiral. We're stopping that and helping to then trigger in the same way that small things can trigger a downward spiral. We're triggering in the same way an upward spiral to create then calm, safe, collected space for you, and really a level of acceptance of the situation too, but also gives you a calm, safe, connected place to then actually respond to yourself and the situation in a better, more helpful, more useful way. So let's get into it. So the first one is S, and that stands for self-awareness. Self-awareness is extremely important, and in this step you're simply going to recognize that you're actually feeling stressed or feeling anxious or feeling whatever emotion it is that's coming up for you. And the recognition is important, because without that, it's it's literally impossible for us to actually be able to proceed to take the other steps in order to sort of redirect, rechange the pattern of behaviour, and to change the way that we actually react in a situation typically, in order to respond in a slightly different way, which is more helpful, more healthy. So the first step is self-awareness. So simply being aware that, yes, I'm feeling stressed right now, I'm feeling anxious, this is coming up for me. Becoming self-aware is that first step. The second step then is T. And in T, we take a moment. You take a moment to create a little bit of distance from how you're feeling or what's coming up for you. That could mean taking some deep breaths. It could mean going for a run, stroking your cat, whatever it is that just takes a moment to just take that step back from the feeling that you're feeling. So first step is acknowledgement, recognizing it. The second step is just distancing yourself slightly, taking a moment. Okay? And you can take a moment literally, like I said, and doing anything that is, fits with you in that moment. So anything that you know yourself. We all know ourselves really quite well, I think, even though we're on a journey of self-discovery continuously. We still usually have a good idea about what is the one thing that kind of just gives me a little bit of distance. Is that a little bit of breath work? Is it doing a few minutes of yoga, going for a quick jog, petting the cat, going into the garden. You know, find a way, whatever the situation is, wherever you are, even if you're in a work setting, if you can just go to the toilet and just do some breath work, do some of the short somatic therapeutic exercises that I show you on the channel, things like that will really help. So that's number 2, taking a moment. Step 3 is O, and it's observe. That stands for observe. Now, in the observe step, in step 3, you're going to want to acknowledge and validate the feelings and the situation that's coming up for you. So you're going to want to say, yes, I'm stressed. Feeling stressed right now, that's coming up for me. Acknowledging and validating your own feelings is exceptionally important. We absolutely don't want to be avoiding and trying to say, no, it's not really happening, no, and detaching and dissociation. It's not what we're doing. What we're doing is acknowledging and validating, but the key to that is, and the reason I've called it observe, is because you don't want to be attached to the stress, attached to the anxiousness. What you actually want is basically to be observing that you're feeling stressed and feeling anxious, or, you know, understanding that that emotion is happening for you right now, but taking a moment and observing and not attaching to that feeling. Okay, when you're acknowledging and validating, it's more of a cognitive process. You're like, okay, this is going on, but I'm not going to let it take me under. Just observe it and understand it's happening. The 4th step is P. So in P, what we're engaging with here is perspective. What we really want to do also is get a perspective of the fact that we are not the only ones that go through hard times, that things don't go right for us, where we're feeling stressed, that we feel imperfect. And what we're going to do there, basically, it ties into the research, which is the common human condition that we all experience struggle, we all experience imperfection, and that's what's going on, okay? That's what's going on as part of being human. And of course, that's not the only thing we want to experience, but research shows us that if we can gain some perspective when we're in that situation, it really helps to reduce negative self-thinking, negative self-talk. It increases our ability to be able to be more resilient. So it's an exceptionally important step, is getting the understanding from the perspective of we are not the only ones going through this. Life is hard sometimes. We just need to find ways to manage that and manage ourselves within that, because it's only managing ourselves. That's the only control that we have. If you think about it, things are going to come up. You know, you are going to feel stressed, you're going to feel anxious. And so perspective is really important. And that leads, like I say, into, I'll put a link in the description below, research around the common human condition and how it's not, you know, we're not alone. And that in itself helps us to feel, improve our well-being by understanding that and increasing our resilience, emotional resilience. Okay, so the stop part really will help you to not spiral down and be triggered and spiral down when you're feeling stressed, so that it becomes out of control. And the go part, which is what we're going to look at now, will actually start to then take you from the down, not just stop the downward spiral, but actually start an upward spiral of positive emotion and positive thinking and things like that, which actually then go upwards in the same way that a downward spiral is triggered. Positive emotions and positive experiences actually are easily triggered upwards and get bigger and better as well. So we're going to do that now. So the first step for that is go, and that is G. The first letter is G, and that stands for gratitude. So gratitude, in the research that we see in positive psychology, is extremely researched now. There are, you know, it's been tested with lots of different ways and with lots of different population groups. And essentially what you're going to do in that moment is just, no matter how bad it is for you, no matter how stressed or no matter what situation you're experiencing right now, there is going to be, if you think about it, something that you are grateful for. And that's what you're going to focus on. So focus on the thing that you are grateful for. It can be as simple as a cup of coffee. It can be as big as a promotion, or, you know, finding that you've just got the keys to your new home or something like that. So whatever it is you're grateful for, you really just take a moment to do that, be grateful for it. Don't just think about the gratitude, but actually feel the feeling of feeling grateful. And what that does is literally changes the areas of your brain that you're going to be able to access. So accessing the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for problem solving, which is responsible for decision making, is really, really important going forward. And that's what gratitude does. That's what the research shows. So be grateful for something, and practice gratitude is the fifth step. The sixth and final step is another O, and it's offering yourself kindness. So offering kindness to yourself. So as you go forward, really feed into offering kindness to yourself, and that can be in many ways, particularly in two ways. One way can be giving yourself, instead of being the internal critic, be compassionate in your self-talk. Be kind in your self-talk is really, really, really important. And the other way is actually behaving in a more compassionate way towards yourself anyway, which could mean just carving out the rest of your day or part of your day that you can in order to actually be able to create some space for yourself. Like understand that you're going through this, and so you're not going to be able to, if you're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling overwhelmed, it's important that you actually give yourself some time to be nurtured in that day. So if you want to, I don't know, just create some time to be cozy under a blanket, to go and do the activity that makes you happy and makes you, gives you a feeling of comfort. Talk to a friend, whatever it is. So talk to yourself in a good way, in a compassionate way, but also carve the time that you're going to need that day to be gentle with yourself and kind to yourself, okay? Offer yourself the kindness that you would to a friend if they were coming to you for the advice. So there we go. You have stop, go. And that is the best way to give yourself a self-compassionate break when you're feeling overwhelmed. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic week. I hope you've enjoyed our videos. Please like and subscribe. We are absolutely so happy to be bringing you the content that we are, and we'd love to continue sharing all this lovely wisdom with you. Thank you, and bye for now.